Hey Stampers, Diane, Dimich here with DailyStamps.com, and today I'm here to show you how to do this great gift idea. It's embossing on candles. It's actually fairly simple to do. You can use all different kinds of images. I use the trees from the Wonderland tree set, or Wonderland set. And, but you can also do line image stamps, color on the back of the tissue paper. But anyway, let's get started so I can show you how quick and easy this is. Okay, for this project, I'm going to go ahead and use, we're going to be using tissue paper, Versamark ink, silver embossing powder, and I am going to use the embossing buddy. One of the reasons I like to is you just rub that over the surface that you're going to emboss. And this is going to be the tissue paper. And that'll take away the static or the oils from your fingers. All that stuff picks up the embossing powder, and so that embossing buddy will just take care of that. And I'm going to use the tree from Wonderland, the Wonderland stamp set. I'm going to go ahead and use this tree here, or set of trees. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that on my project. And then sprinkle with embossing powder. And I'm going to put a little piece of tissue or copy paper under here. The reason I do that is just to catch the embossing powder, and then it's easy to get it all to go back in the jar. So I'll just dump the embossing powder over those trees. Shake off the excess. I'm going to put the embossing powder back in. So I just use the paper and dump it all back into the jar. One of the things I find about embossing powder, a little goes a long way. And once you've opened a jar, it seems to go multiply. So once I've got that embossed, I'm going to go ahead with my heat tool. And I'm going to do this on camera. You can see how quickly it happens. But it happens quickly with tissue paper because it's so thin. So it melts very quickly. And you want to make sure that you don't heat it too much and end up with your scorching the tissue paper. So once I start heating this, it's going to go fairly quickly. There you have it. So there's your tissue paper, silver trees. And then I'm going to take just a regular scissor and I'm going to trim this out. And I want to leave a little bit of an edge of tissue paper, but not a ton. You don't want it to... You just need to like trim out, and I don't trim any sharp edges. I just do rounded edges. Maybe, there we go. And once I've got that done, I'm going to come in, and I use just the cheapest candles I can find. You want to make sure that it's, you know, I use a white candle because I think that's the easiest. Take off this. You also want to make sure that it's got wax that goes all the way through, and if you use a high quality candle, what happens is it melts too quickly, and you end up with a puddle of wax. So you're going to lay your tissue paper on here. One of the things I want you to remember when you're doing this is it doesn't necessarily have to be an embossed image. I like it because it makes a nice crisp image, but you can also stamp on tissue paper, emboss it, flip it over, and color on the back. And so you could do a fine line image also if you chose to. Once you've done that, what I do is I take my heat gun again, and I'm going to start in the middle of where the tissue paper is, and this goes fairly quickly. It's going to melt that wax. And you just want to keep it moving. And there you have it, an embossed candle. And it's really pretty. I do have a couple edges here that are up. I probably will heat them once more to make sure. And if I end up with any edges that come up, I can always take a metal spoon and get it heated up a little bit and rub it over, and that'll take your edges down a little bit. But just a really quick, easy way to make a great Christmas present using the same stamps that you've made your cards with. So I'm going to go get the supplies to do a label and a cello bag, and then I'll show you the finished product. Thanks. So I added my candle into a cello bag, tied it with a silver ribbon, and then I'm going to take some of our silver thread and our little tag, and that's just going to get tied right on to where this ribbon is. Thread it up through there and tie this off. Just a knot, and this will just give you a tag that you could write who it's for. These are great little gifts to have around just in case you need a quick hostess gift for somebody, or somebody swings by with a gift for you. You will have something ready to give to them. It's a little longer than I wanted, but I don't want to putz around too much. But there you have it, just a really quick, fun, easy gift idea with a fairly cheap candle. So get them at the most inexpensive place you can find. Thanks. And if you haven't already done so, I will post a list of the products that I used today to make this candle. And also, you may want to sign up for my newsletter where I send out tips, tricks, and techniques each week. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.